What's up, guys? Today we're going to talk about sim racing, specifically a tour of my sim rig, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and how to get started. Stick around. So this is my sim rig. This thing has slowly evolved over the years. I've been putting it together for 6 or 7 years now. Slowly expanded, started with a simple computer desk, 127-inch monitor, slowly grew onto a larger L-shaped desk, 2 monitors, then 3 monitors, then 4 monitors, and then about a year and a half ago, when we moved into the new house, I built the platform, picked up an automotive seat, and kind of made it into what it is today. I have some future improvements, but let's go over what it is right now, and then we can talk about the cons, what I would have done differently, and changes. Running a 5 monitor setup, 3 24-inch monitors with a 19-inch above, just running support screens, TeamSpeak, Z1 software, anything else, internet, whatever I got going on. Sometimes I'll watch the race, NASCAR race on Sunday while doing a race. As well, we've got a small Pi Blueberry screen that I run a gauge pack on. The original design intent was to hopefully get it back behind the steering wheel, but the way I like the monitor set, I just don't have space for it, so I offset it. But it still works out great. You see it flash, I can see my gauges. With the field of view set properly, this is what it looks like on 3 24-inch monitors. So on most cars, especially the NASCARs, all your gauges fall below the screen, so that works out well during pit stops or shift points, anything like that. So I like it. Hopefully in the future I'd like to set up to a belt-driven wheel. The Logitech 920 is great, but for gear-driven, especially now that I have it in the house temporarily, during all this quarantine stuff, I brought the rig in the house. It's a little noisy, especially at night when I'm running everything through the headphones. So I'd really like to get a belt-driven wheel, but that'll come in the future. Running 2 Derek Spear Designs button boxes. This is the P1, and this is the Track Boss. Both work great. You can run multiple boxes. So between both my games, I have yet to completely fill those up. I still have spare buttons, so they work out great. Fanatec handbrake and Thrustmaster H pattern shifter. So a very crude keyboard and mouse tray. It's a wood-built home rig sitting on a 2014 Challenger seat that I picked up off online. So the design of this setup doesn't follow any specific template. I did a lot of research online and based it around components I already had and components I plan to use. For instance, monitor mounts was a big contributor of how the top section was set up. Large single units that can hold all these monitors in one unit are very large. They take a very large base, and I didn't want that. Adversely with these, they take up very limited footprint, but they also have a lot of torque on them from the weight. So these are hard bolted all the way through the top platform, but that allowed me to keep it very small. What helps is the flexi mounts on the monitors, on all of them. So if somebody does come over different, or if I'm just in a different mood for the day, these can move in every direction. Tilt, swivel, in, out, up, down. So I can put these in any direction that I want. And once again, going back to flexibility and future expansion, I have the ability to change out this top plate. If and when I go to a new wheel, I can move my monitors up or down if I need to adjust for any base change height. And if I need any more width here for mounting, this can easily be changed. Then the seat can adjust from there, and vice versa. Now the pedals can also adjust to the new body position or that new equipment position based on the adjustability here. So with the pedals, what I did, it's not super quick. It does take a couple minutes to adjust, but the big thing why I did this is to set up for a different pedal set. So I can make a minor modification here, the way I'm holding the pedals on, and when I upgrade steering wheel and pedals, I still have adjustability. So I wanted these raised up. By adjusting these 2 bolts, I can change the pitch of the pedals very, very quickly here. This is just on a piano hinge. And then with, I don't even have them bolted. If I push these 4 bolts in on each side, then this entire platform here can slide back and forth so I can change the distance. So like I said, it's not that, I mean, it's really tight. I don't feel here any movement when I'm racing. So it works really well. Wire management works pretty well. I've got some charging cables for headsets and things that are kind of making it a little bit of a mess. And of course, back here is the bee's nest. We'll kind of reveal the curtain here and show the mess. It's not terrible. It is contained to one spot. I'm not anal retentive too bad when it comes to this. I like to contain it to one zone. But overall, we're running a battery backup for the computer. It's mounted on board with the computer and a couple of essentials on the battery side, and then a powered USB hub for all the extras mounted on the side as well. So at least all of this stuff does stay contained to one side, and you don't see it from the house side, and I don't see it from the driver's side. As far as sound, right now we are lacking a little bit. I play in the house, so I don't need a big booming system, unfortunately. These are standard Insignia computer speakers from your Walmart or Best Buy. Nothing fancy. Most of my gameplay does run through SteelSeries headset, which is not cheap. They always are high quality, and I really enjoy those. If we want to talk about cons, my biggest cons, I think, with this build, I focused on flexibility and using the components I had at the time. And that all worked really well. I feel like as the rig sits here, I don't have any complaints, and it's set up that I can improve it in many ways without making any drastic changes. The one item I did not focus on enough was being modular. So I recently just moved this from the garage into the house, since I'm going to be spending a lot more time in the house, and it doesn't fit through the doorway as you see it sit here. So of course all the equipment has to come off of it as well. This top deck has to be disassembled and taken off. And then it's kind of like a couch. You have to bring it in with the short end through the door and pivot and move on its side, and it was very difficult. If possible, when redesigning, I think I could have shaved some width off the bottom base, almost made it the width of a standard doorway, made the top portion more modular to where this whole piece can maybe unbolt from the bottom and pop off as one piece, and bring it in the house as a two-piece. As far as moving it around within the room, once it's set up, it's not bad. I put casters mounted on the back and a lift point in the front, so I can lift up on the front of the rig and I can wheel it around the room. It's a little bit heavy, but I can readjust it. I've got it pulled out from the wall for video purposes here. So we'll take a quick lap on iRacing here. This is the B-Class Xfinity cars at Chicagoland. Just going to turn a lap real quick in practice session. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope it was informative and you liked my rig. I know sim racing, especially with the situation of the world and TV coverage, it's really blowing up. A lot of people are getting into it. Hopefully you choose to as well, and hopefully this helps you on your way to get started. If you're wondering why I'm doing audio in my truck, just like everybody else right now, we're staying home a lot. We're on quarantine just like everybody else, and this happens to be the quietest place at the Mitchell house right now with everybody home. So hope everybody's safe. Have some fun. Stay safe, stay indoors, and we'll see you all soon. Thanks.